Hey, good afternoon, YouTube. This is Joey D here, back with another video. Today's topic will be the top 5 things that I hate about my 2023 Toyota Corolla GR. So I'm going to be honest with you. This review is pretty much the same as the other what I hate about my Corolla YouTubers, I guess, put out here as far as videos go. We do have some of the same things that we're concerned about, not really concerned, but don't like, I should say, from Toyota. For example, the first thing would be the armrest concern. So for some reason, Toyota decided to make this vehicle without an armrest, which kind of sucks, especially if you are doing, long road trips. Essentially, it would be nice to have your arm, to kind of rest a little bit. To each their own, may or may not affect you. But me personally, I kind of did, like having an armrest in every other car that I've ever owned. So yeah, that would be the first thing that I dislike about the car. However, that was corrected by the company called Sixth Element Engineering. They actually came out with an armrest, for this car. So I'm very thankful for them. As far as the next subject, the number 2 thing that I dislike is actually the cabin itself. I mean, as you can see, it's a hatchback. I get it. This is could be a practical family car. It depends. But that's with the passenger seat all the way back. And, I do apologize that my car is pretty dirty here. But yeah, this is just basically, the cargo area that you do have. Um, you may be able to fit, a couple kids back here, maybe one car seat for sure, maybe two. But it would be pretty, pretty tight. But yeah, I mean, that's another thing. I get it. It's a Corolla. It's not a Lexus LS. But just the cabin can be a little bit better. Another weird thing is too, the door kind of feels like it doesn't open all the way. I mean, I don't know. I guess because it's the way that it's designed. But yeah. And then let me just go to the trunk because this is considered still the cargo area. So yeah, Toyota also designed to put the battery, actually relocate it to the rear, which does make the essentially the trunk raise up higher than it should, which does take away some cargo space, especially with this thing here in the way. I like having the cargo cover here, but if you do have groceries and you go to shut this, it definitely does hit the groceries every time, and the actual cargo cover lifts up. But what can you do? Number 3, I would say, is probably the brake dust on this car. So as you know, these cars are equipped with, I'm assuming these are Brembos. As far as the brakes and rotors go, they are a, you know, performance brake pad, basically, which I get. So anytime you have a performance brake pad, they will, you know, cause brake dust. And, most of my other cars that I've had too also did the same thing. So it actually would be the cluster as far as the odometer goes. For some reason, I don't know. I try to. You can customize and have different screens here as far as what you want to display. Um, for example, it's only in the wintertime. The tire pressure, for example, that screen you can get to. I have saved it multiple times to like a different setting that I have on here. So, for example, that's the first one as far as what I have set up. So, like if I try to set it for the second or third one and change the gauge to the tire pressure, it will stay sometimes, and then it'll randomly just reset to back to, for whatever this one could be, for example. It will never save as far as a setting being on there. So that's one thing, that I could say is annoying. Like I said, especially in the wintertime when you do need to kind of check your tire pressures if your light comes on. This way you can kind of see, which tire is low on air. So number 5 actually does come in as far as being inside the cabin again. And like I said in the very beginning of this video, most of the things that I do hate are all related to the cabin. But I get it. It's a small car. It's a hatchback. It is what it is. But number 5 would be no glove box cylinder as far as like a lock cylinder goes. Sometimes, you might want to store some personal stuff in there and lock it up. But you know, Toyota designed this car without actually having a lock as well for the glove box. So some people may or may not like that. Me personally, I don't like not having that. Um, you know, like I said, it's nice to have if you have to lock something up, if you're on the go. You know, if you take your car and you know, basically have it valeted somewhere and you want to lock some personal items in there, you know, you just can't do that. But other than that, those would be the top 5 things that I do hate about the Corolla GR. Okay, so now let's get to the top 5 things that I do love about my 2023 Corolla GR. The first thing would be, you know, I had kind of crushed the interior of this car, but driving the car, as far as visibility goes, you know, there is a lot of visibility as far as the windows go. There's not too many blind spots in here, and you know, it's a small car and it's good to park in small places. So that's, you know, one thing that I can say that I do like about it. Number 2 would actually be the engine and transmission itself, as far as the noises that the car does make. For being a 3-cylinder, it does have some funky noises here. You know, it's a lot of cool noises, nothing weird. You know, you do hear the intake in here. You know, the exhaust note from the factory, as far as the stock exhaust goes, sounds like you do have an aftermarket exhaust on there as well. I could tell you the way that the transmission shifts when you're shifting gears does, you know, sound very good as well. Sounds like you do have some cut gears in your trains. But other than that, you know, just the driving experience alone is one of the reasons why I do love this car too. So the number 3 reason why I love this car, believe it or not, even though it is a, you know, performance car, it's got 300 horsepower. It is a 3-cylinder. It is a Corolla, which means it still does get actually pretty good gas mileage for what it is. I do average typically about 21 miles to the gallon, highway and city. And if I'm on the highway and I'm not, you know, punching the gas pedal every time, I do average about 28 miles per gallon as well on the highway. So I can tell you that is, you know, one of the reasons why I do love this car too. I do daily drive this vehicle, but you know, I'm not driving far every day as far as going to work goes. But when I do go on long road trips, you know, the gas, you know, mileage is very good. The number 4 reason why I love my Corolla here is the actual style itself. I love how Toyota designed the actual Corolla. It is off of the Corolla hatchback platform, but you know, being that the GR, you know, has to be special, it does have like a kind of like a wide body or a wide flare effect to it, which is a style that I do love. You know, like I said, I do have a core model of the Corolla, but I did pick up this Circuit Edition hood, you know, for my job. I had it painted. Of course, it was color matched to match the actual rest of the car. But I just love how it actually looks compared to the core model hood. Um, you know, like I said, the style alone of this vehicle is one of the reasons why I do love this car so much. It kind of gives me the STI hatchback vibe. I did have a 2008 about maybe 10 years ago, and you know, this car, it's eerily similar as far as that car goes, and this is one of the reasons why I do love this. And last but not least, the number 5 reason why I love this car is finally the aftermarket scene is starting to come out with some performance and you know, aesthetic mods for the vehicle itself. There's actually a lot coming out now. At first, there really wasn't too much to you know, to do other than kind of just compare the few different companies that came out with some stuff. But now there's a lot that you can actually choose from. So the aftermarket scene is taking, not, I should say, is not taking this car lightly. They do know that people that have these cars will be willing to modify them, just like any car that comes out that's new. But I can tell you that's one of the reasons why I do love this car a lot too, because just the subtle, simple things as far as aftermarket parts go do change the look of the car. And like I had mentioned to you in my mods list video, one of the reasons why I, you know, love this car a lot too, is because I like to try to make it unique and different from everyone else. So hopefully I can try to, you know, keep that trend going here. And I hope you guys enjoy it. And, you know, other than that, I'm going to try to figure out what's the next video that I can do for you guys. I have been contemplating the fact of possibly wrapping the car. but I don't know if I want to do that just yet, only because I'm kind of in the market to get another car now. As they say, my daily needs a daily. So I usually drive this car every single day. It is my daily car. But, you know, I've been contemplating on getting another truck at this point. So we shall see what that would bring to me. And maybe at that point, then this car I can kind of treat like a, you know, not like a show car, but something that I don't drive all the time. But we'll see what happens. Other than that, thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next video.